Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Zane, better known as the King Bahamut, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy I on the NES. In the last episode, we got through the Sea Shrine, defeated the Kraken, and I almost passed out. I'd say don't ask for context, but I feel like y'all are gonna do it anyway. Unfortunately, I can't help you with that. On this episode, I'm going to start off by going back to the town of Melmond, because there is something important we need to do there. We have to talk to this monk-looking guy. This is Dr. Une. A slab! This slab will lead us to solve the riddle of the Lefianish. Now, listen to me. And with that, we now have the ability to speak Lefianish, from the slab that we got in the Sea Shrine. Which means that, should we ever go to a town where we can find Lefianish, we can talk to them. Which, conveniently, there is a town of such people in this world. And if I can bring up the map here, I believe that it's on the rightmost edge of the northern continent. So if I can just get over there... Yep. I believe it's this town. Now, unfortunately, there is a bunch of forest, and I think this spot... Nope, not that spot. There's one spot here where we'll be able to land, but it's gonna take me a minute to find it. Is it this? Yep, it's that spot. So we have some schlepping to do in order to get there. But I'm actually going to do something a little unconventional, which is I'm actually going to fight any enemies we encounter along the way, because I did some grinding off screen to get to level 25. But the thing is that there are spells that we can buy in this upcoming town. So even after all the grinding I did, I didn't have enough money to get any of them. So I want to do a little bit of grinding and see if I can get, I think it's somewhere in the ballpark of like 2,000 gold I need for everything. Now, luckily, the enemies here are nice and tough. I don't know if these are... obviously, these are enemies that are found at the Peninsula of Power, but I don't know if they're actually... I'm guessing that the Peninsula of Power, the reason that there are so many strong enemies there is because they're meant to be from this part of the continent. Because if you look, if you're paying attention while I was flying around, you'll notice that the Peninsula of Power is like right directly south of this area. So, whoops. So I'm guessing that's why we're fighting zombies here, for instance. Zombies and trolls. So at the very least, we know that we're strong enough to have no trouble with the Peninsula of Power whatsoever. It's nice that we're getting so many zombie encounters, because zombies give out probably the best amount of gold of most... excuse me. Zombies give out a really good amount of gold for this point in the game, and just in general. And they're also pretty easy to defeat because they're weak to both the harm and fire spells. So that's nice. And if we don't beat them in one round, we can just bonk them on the head for a little bit. And knock them out that way. Easy peasy. We get a nice sum of gold. Yeah, There's only 2 spells in this town and no other kinds of equipment. But the 2 spells here are actually very important. And particularly for me, because if I go into my magic screen here, Lewis and Risa have access to tier 8 magic. This is something that is exclusive for the white and black wizards, is that they have the ability to get tier 8 magic. So Risa can cast the Fade, or Holy Spell, which does a bunch of non-elemental damage to all enemies, and the Wall Spell, which will increase our defenses. Lewis, unfortunately, doesn't have any tier 8 magic, because the other tier 8 magic spells that are available to us are honestly not that useful. Talk to this guy. We are the Lefianish. Only our bravest became Sky Warriors. Your airship was theirs. Oh, that's interesting. But yeah, so this is Lefian, the town of the Lefianish. If you came here before talking to Dr. Une with the slab, you wouldn't be able to understand anything these people are saying. And if I'm trying to remember where the magic shops are, because there are some spells to get. They are not over here. I can see that. And I am stumbling around. Okay. Anyways, let's just talk to the townspeople. I wonder if the robots still made by our ancestors are still moving. They made robots? We have passed on the legends from generation to generation, but 400 years have caused our memories to fade. The floating castle floats high in the sky, seemingly among the stars. Talk to you. 400 years ago, we had an advanced civilization. Our interest was the universe. Until 400 years ago, we controlled the power of the wind. This enabled us to suspend the castle in the air. Talk to this guy. At the time of destruction, a legend was born. In 400 years, warriors with orbs will appear to save our people. Are you? Maybe. Oh, the Light Warriors, the legend is true. This guy gets it. So anyways, I know that there are magic shops around here. Talk to you. Floating Castle, our ancestors lived there. The Mirage Tower is the entrance. So if we can get you to move out of the way. Maybe it's up, around. Nope. Oh crap. I can't find the magic shops. It's so weird. I could have sworn that these houses right here were the magic shops. It appears I'm whistling Dixie on that. We knew that a great fiend power controlled the fiends. Our 5 bravest warriors left, never to return. Our last 5 warriors left to we know the combats. The power of wind was taken by Tiamat. We fought with Tiamat, but were unsuccessful. The fiend now controls our floating castle. Talk to you. With this chime, you can enter the Mirage Tower. So this is a story important item that we just got. If I can find it. Stamped on the bottom, made in Lefian. So yeah, the chime is how we get into the Mirage Tower, which is where we need to go next, but I need to... Okay, this is going to drive me nuts, so I'm going to take a second to look at where it is I'm supposed to go. Okay, so honestly, this is a little bit stupid. So the magic shop in this game is if you go right through the wall, it's right here. But I have to wonder how you would figure that out. How would you figure out how to do that? But yeah, this is the white magic shop. It only spells one spell. Great English there. It only sells one spell, which is the Life 2 spell. This will revive a party member with full health, outside of battle only. And then in the black magic shop, we have the nuke spell, aka the flare spell, which hits every enemy for non-elemental damage. And that's the one I want for right now. As far as getting the other spell here, you know what? Actually, I think I will do a little bit of grinding just for the hell of it. Because that Life 2 spell is actually going to come very much in handy when we move on to the next dungeon. Excuse me. So, I'm actually going to cut away here, and I will meet you in a second after I've purchased the next spell. Okay, back at the airship. So, our destination is this tower sitting in the middle of the desert here. Once again, ship can't land on sand, so we do have to land in this spot, and we do have to do a little bit of walking, which means that we are potentially vulnerable to attacks from enemies. But it's not so bad, because there's only one of these ankylos here. It is really weird, too, because the Berettas, I should say, they genuinely do kind of look like ankylosaurs in this game. Whereas in other games, they had kind of more humanoid, demonic-looking faces. That's not the case here. So, I just think it's really interesting. Unfortunately, we weren't able to knock him out in one round. Can we just get rid of him? Thank you very much, Brian. I will say that there is one enemy in this desert that you may want to be careful of. It's called the T-Rex. We're probably not going to see it because we're already at the tower. And I'm going to use a house to restore my spell charges because I want as many spell charges. Oh, it didn't restore the higher level spell charges. Oh, that's stupid. Huh. Well, that's awkward. I would have really liked having my nuke spell, because we are now in the Mirage Tower. And right off the gate, we have a whole bunch of treasure chests. Oh, and this is my favorite enemy in the game, the Bad Man. I fucking love this enemy name. It's supposed to be like a Dark Knight, but obviously text box limitations are a thing, so they just called it the Bad Man. It's so stupid, but I love it so much. But anyways, enemies in this tower, there are a lot of them, and some of them can be really annoying, so be on your guard. These two enemies here, like the Nightmare and Bad Man. that name's gonna make me laugh every time. But these two enemies here are not the worst of it. There are some enemy encounters in this tower that that may potentially be a real nuisance. Thankfully, the Bad Man. God, I can't say it without laughing. They seem to be the I am losing my train of thought. The Bad Man is weak to fire, it looks like, so be advised. One nice thing about enemies here is that they do drop a pretty healthy amount of experience. Anyways, we have treasure boxes here. You get a heal helmet. That's actually a really good piece of equipment. We get a Vorpal. Some gold. Anyways, heal helmet. It actually has the ability to cast a heal spell when it's used as an item in battle. Problem is, none of our party members can currently equip it. If you have a ninja on your team, it is a excellent piece of defensive wear because it's actually the best helm that the ninja can equip in the game, and it gives the ninja the ability to have some extra healing utility in battle. But unfortunately, because armor spaces are limited, it's probably not going to be of any use to me. I don't have any characters who can equip it. Except for Brian, of course. But Brian already has the Opal Helm, which is better in most every way. So I don't really see it. Wow, that's 2,500 gold from just one enemy. Wow. I know where I'm going to. Oh, and we're fighting the vampire as a regular enemy. So... that's interesting. But, yeah, we're at the point in the game where this guy is just not a threat to us anymore. I think we actually find a more powerful version of the vampire on later floors. I'm starting to get the feeling that I didn't actually use a house before coming in here, because I just realized that my Red Mage's spell charges are not fully restored either. Whoops. Can't hold any more, so that's an armor piece and money. Alright, so again, I hate to have to drop stuff, but I would like that armor piece, because I believe it's the Aegis Shield, yes. Aegis Shield has the same defensive stats as the Opal Shield, but it's got a much better effect, I believe. I think it reflects instant death attacks, or at the very least allows you to resist instant death attacks. Anyways, we've got this robot here. Are you the master? I don't know. Nothing here. We've got what looks like a computer console here. I am going to cut away from this battle. So I ended up deciding to go to Gaia real quick to, one, sell a couple of excess pieces of equipment I had, but also to just properly restock my shit, restock my spell charges, because I'm realizing I'm probably going to need those extra things a little bit more than I initially anticipated. Because, like I said, this upcoming dungeon's a bit more tricky than you might think. Anyways, Jesus Christ, those ankylosaurs hit for so much damage. Actually, you know what? Before I go in, I should probably use another house, just so I have a bit more of my HP going in, and drop maybe a quick heal potion. Alright, so, Mirage Tower. I'm not going to explain the deal behind the Mirage Tower because we're getting into fights already. But that's okay. We have a saber-toothed tiger, and we have Medusas. As you might expect, the Medusas can petrify you, so be careful around them. I believe the Medusas are weak to fire. But we shall see. Based on how much or little damage that Lewis does with this mage staff attack. There's the Zeus Gauntlet. Oh, the Zeus Gauntlet didn't do too bad. Or maybe that was just a fluke. Yeah, that's looking like it was a fluke. Well, at least the Medusas don't have that much HP, so you hit him with a couple of freebie spells from pieces of equipment, you might just be able to party wipe him. Assuming that Lewis can get his attack in before they pile too much damage on us. Yeah, it doesn't look like they have all that much HP. It's like around 70 or so. But we are getting a good chunk of experience and money from each of these fights. I think on the higher floors where they start throwing some of the more annoying enemy encounters at us. Right now they seem to be going easy on us. Quote-unquote easy. Oh boy, my character does take a lot of damage from fights. Mostly because he's the one that the enemies are all attacking. Damage values seem to... Ooh, this is interesting. We have guards here. I believe these are robotic enemies, so I think that the Zeus Gauntlet will do a nice chunk of damage to them. Let's see. And by let's see, I mean let's get hit with 3 attacks before any of us get a turn, because why the fuck not? They have a more than 200 HP at least. Probably like around 200 HP. I don't know if it's an exact thing, but... I'm honestly looking forward to getting further into this dungeon because Rice is going to be getting a piece of equipment either in this dungeon or very soon, or at the very least very soon, that will give me a way to do something with her in battles besides use the heal staff, which is good, because using the heal staff causes a big dead space to occur whenever I am in the middle of showing a battle off. But anyways, Brian gets a level up. Unfortunately, because of the disastrous fight we had with the Kraken, nobody else gets a level up yet. I probably didn't need to go all the way around. I probably could have just gone through the door here. Are you serious? At least you gave me a first strike so I can get the hell out of Dodge without needing to fight these things. Alright. You're not going to give me the chance to talk, are you? Why would I expect anything less from this game? I will say, I have actually been enjoying this LP, despite all of the complaining I seem to be doing. But it's not necessarily been an easy LP, because this game may have been a mistake to choose as my first game to, get into LPing, because it's not necessarily that it's been hard to play or anything. It's such a slow-moving game that I kind of struggle to find things to talk about at times. You can hear me drinking my water. That's how little substance my commentary has. Anyways, moving on. We have a long walk around the perimeter that, if it gets interrupted, which, as soon as I said it, as soon as I bloody said it, I'm going to run, because I would like to get on with more of the dungeon, even though I would really like to get another level up for all of my other characters, especially my spellcasters, because I want to see if I can get them to have more spell charges for the tier 8 magic. These chimeras, I don't remember what these guys are weak to, if anything. imagine that they're probably weak to ice? I think that later chimeras in later Final Fantasy games like FF4 are either weak to ice or weak to no element. That's assuming I'll be able to even see. Well, at least we saved on a charge of ice 2, and also a charge of fast spell, which is significantly more important. Anyways, we have a bunch of treasure here. We get money, the dragon armor. Like the Aegis Shield, it has the exact same stats as the opal armor, but it has a better effect of allowing your fighter to resist, I think actually every element, fire, ice, and lightning. We get a bunch more money, and we get the Thor Hammer. Thor Hammer is the best weapon for the White Wizard, and it's also a magic weapon. It casts Lightning 2 when used in battle, and perfect timing because we can now demonstrate that. So yeah, Risa finally has something she can do in battles besides just casting the heal spell with the heal staff. And I'm also going to use this battle as an opportunity to demonstrate the nuke spell, which, yep, there we go. Almost 400 damage to one target. It tends to fluctuate between about 200 to 300 or so damage. Did about... Oops. And Brian's attack misses. So yeah, it's nuke spell, really powerful and very useful, but it's also it's one of those things where you kind of have to pick and choose when to use it wisely. You get the Sun Sword. More money, a house, a bunch more money, and a bunch more money. The Sun Sword. That's not the correct tab. Sun Sword is the best weapon that you can normally get for your Red Wizard, technically. There is one other weapon that is better, but it's also kind of a cheating weapon, by which I mean it's a cheat to call it the ultimate weapon for the Red Wizard, because it can be equipped by everybody. And if you know this game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But I think we're actually... Oh, that's right, the Chimeras have the Cremate ability. Which, the only one it did any real damage to was my character, my Red Mage, which is really... It's kind of infuriating, not gonna lie, because, you know, I don't know why my character has such bad defensive stats. I do not get it, because I have him equipped with the Opal Bracer, which is the best piece of equipment that he could have at this point. The only thing that he's missing is a Pro Ring, which I'm not going to give him because the Zeus Gauntlet is just too useful, but he's still getting whacked by so much crap. I do not understand it. I mean, the enemies seem to be hitting pretty hard here, because they're hitting Brian for pretty hefty amounts of damage. Which is no mean feat, considering how beefy of a boy Brian is. Well, anyways, with that fight done and dusted, 10,000 gold, damn. There's one thing about these late game battles is that they give, they give some damn good rewards. It's just, you gotta be patient with them. And careful, because they can be dangerous, as you no doubt noticed by the amount of HP my character seems to be losing. Talk to this guy. One of us escaped with a cube. He floated far to the west. I already obtained the cube, so don't worry about me. And we have more wyverns and worms, which I should say that the wyverns and worms, one thing about them is that they don't really give all that much gold, but they do give a pretty nice chunk of experience if you can manage to defeat them. So, if you're looking to just level up, these might be enemies that are worth your time. So I remember I fought a pack of four. Four of them during one of my latest grinding sessions, and they actually gave, I think, something like 1,000 experience to each one of my party members, which is which is more than what a lot of the other enemies in the Peninsula of Power were giving me. Like, even the Zombols weren't giving me that much experience. I mean, they're not good to fight if you just want to get a lot of gold, but they might be worth it if you're hurting for levels. They are admittedly more tricky to kill than some other enemies because they have some decently high defense and HP. But we have magic items, so we can just pelt them with party-wide fire and lightning spells. No ice spells, not yet at least. We will be getting the one piece of equipment that casts ice magic for free, which honestly comes way later in this game than I think it should have, but, I mean, what can you do? And that's that. Yeah, see, like, almost 1,200 experience. It's a pretty small sum of gold for how tough those enemies were. Oh, and I think this is a booby trap, actually. This is the blue dragon, who, despite being blue, casts, I think it's lightning magic, I believe. But yeah, he can be kind of tough. And unfortunately, I don't have any charges of nuke left. So, so what can I have Lewis do? I'm just gonna have him cast Ice 3. Have Rice heal everybody, which takes a while and makes me question if my respawn rate didn't get set to 1 exact by accident. Ryan does 300 damage, and that doesn't do... Ooh, thunder! That was a lot of damage. Yikes. That ain't good. Lewis, just finish him off, please. There we go. So yeah, that's the blue dragon. You're thankfully only fighting one of him, but he can be tricky if you aren't careful. But anyways, talk to this guy. Transporter operation requires a cube. We go through here. And we are now in the floating castle. This is the next dungeon where the final of the 4 orbs is housed. But I'm actually going to do something sneaky because I'm going to exit out back to the overworld. Reason for this is that the floating castle is, as you might expect, a difficult dungeon, full of very strong enemies, and It's also a dungeon which has a particular encounter on the last floor that you may or may not know about. That is potentially really, really dangerous. It can very easily kill your entire party. So I would highly recommend at this point that you get out of the dungeon, go back to an inn, sell off whatever treasures you picked up along the journey through the Mirage Tower, and save your game before coming here. Obviously, since I'm playing on an emulator, I could use save states, but... And while that's... Oh, for fuck's sake. I need to figure out why my red mage is taking so much bloody damage. Like, it's not even that he's getting the brunt of the attacks, it's also that he is just getting, it's also that he's just taking absurd amounts of damage from everything. I do not get why he feels compelled to take so much bloody damage. But yeah, I'm going to make a couple of pit stops to Gaia, and once I'm done with that, in the next episode, I will meet you back at the top of the Mirage Tower, and we will start our trek through the floating castle to see if we can find and defeat the Fiend of Air, Tiamat. I will see you guys in the next episode. This has been Zane, better known as the King Bahamut, and I am currently in the middle of tracking down the clinic in Gaia. So here it is. So I will... Are you kidding me, Mr. Pirate? Do not... No! That is not where you need to be, my good sir. Get out of the way. 750 gold. Warrior returns to life. I will see you in the next episode. Take care, everybody.